Guys, good morning. I obviously haven't spoken yet. Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm just getting the iPad up. I'm just going to have a quick look and show you some of today's bundles and some of our offers. So we're going to be using our graduated fans today to make a necklace. I've got a couple of different, in fact, I've got 3 different designs to show you. You were probably expecting Kitty this morning. We had a little quick switch around so that she can get into the office early. She covered lots of videos last week, and of course it means that she's at home, so she'll be in the warehouse already, packing loads of orders and getting some stuff ready to send me as well, so that we can keep on doing these videos. So we've got lots of new designs coming, which is fun. She's raiding the warehouse for me. So I'm just going to have a quick look on the iPad because I'm going to bring up the bundles for today and show you, and then I'm going to show you some of our beautiful pendants that we're going to be using. Good morning, Helen, hi Dee, Heather, Sue. I can see Kitty's watching, so she's obviously in the warehouse already. Good morning, Debbie, Sheila, Alyssa, Edward, Lucy. Lovely, got lots of you. So yeah, we have Camille. It's beautiful and sunny here today. I've had a busy morning already, been tidying up, got the washing on, had a quick little scoot around and tidied the place up. So what I'm actually going to show you today is something a little bit different. I'm just bringing up the iPad so that I can show you the category that we've got for our Facebook Lives. So give me 1 second and I can get this up for you. So we have hundreds of you that have joined us over the last few weeks. Kitty says, yes, I'm here and looking for beads for you already. Thanks, Kitty. She's my personal shopper as well as yours, so it's lovely. I normally go down to the warehouse for 3 or 4 days once a month. Ordinarily, obviously haven't been down since, gosh, I think the last time might have been February, and we had some workshops. So I haven't been down there since. So normally I would go down, raid the warehouse, get loads of things for new designs. So Kitty is keeping me good. Camille says she's still in her pajamas. Quite right too. If there's no reason to get dressed, I wouldn't be bothered either. I don't have my pajamas on for you today. You will be pleased to know. Okay, so this is the website, and we have some amazing deals. There's actually a big kit sale on at the moment as well. We've got some amazing beads, some amazing seed bead offers as well. So you'll see all of that when you go onto the homepage. If you go onto the categories list up at the top and you go to Facebook tutorials, this will give you all of the bundles, the offers, the videos, everything that we have been doing over the last 12 weeks, which feels like it was only yesterday, yet it feels so long ago. It's insane. So we have been doing these every day. Everyone's saying they're in their pajamas. Brenda, I am jealous. Good morning, Maxine, Antida, Leanne. Anne says, why not? Exactly. So I'm going to show you the graduated fans. Now, I haven't used these before, and you probably haven't seen them on the website either. We have had them in stock for a little while, but we were looking for something to do with them. They are absolutely beautiful. So they actually come to you on just a length of wire. We've got some amazing ones now. I do have to let you know, we don't have a lot of stock with these. This is something that we were going to have a little bit of a play with and perhaps get more in stock, which we haven't yet done, and we wanted to give you something a little bit different. So we're going to let you see these today, use these today. We've got a little bit of stock on the website. I'm going to show you through in a minute. There are a couple of silver ones and some gold ones. Once I've turned this down, I will show you. So what I've done is really simply just threaded this onto a 2mm leather cord and put some little leather crimps up at the top. I've made it a little bit longer because when I wear my hair down, all of this is actually normally covered. So I just wanted you to be able to see the little bit at the bottom. But as you can see, they would make beautiful chokers. You could go mid-length. And I've actually got 2 out of 1 pendant. They're £3.50. Which I think is amazing value for money. So £3.50, and I actually split this into 2. So I did a nice simple one, for a bit more of a dressed down look, and then I've used pearls and spacer beads to actually make, so you can see that I've split the pendant in half and managed to make a slightly smaller one. So this is for more of, I guess, a dressed up look. So I'm going to turn you over in a minute and have a little look. So Kitty is replying if, Jan says she's ironing while she's watching. I've got ironing to do as well, but I'm a great procrastinator when it comes to housework. So I'm going to turn you over and have a little look. Kitty will answer any of your questions. So if I get a bit engrossed in what I'm making and I miss any of your comments, Kitty will keep me right and she will answer as much as she can. We had some amazing feedback on Monday. During the video, we had some amazing interaction. We had people from all over the world watching, which was really lovely. And so if you are watching for the first time, say hello. We do have a lot of ladies and gentlemen that now know each other just from these videos. So say hello. Donna says, just recently started watching you, have placed a few orders. Your cosmic beads are amazing. Yeah, Donna, we've got some great stuff on the website. So don't be put off that people talk to each other and know each other already. We're all welcome. Send us a little hello and perhaps where you're watching from, whether you're new to beading, whether you found us by mistake, whether you have been beading for a long time. Let me know what projects you're working on as well. So it's quite a simple make. Anne says she calls it loungewear, so do I. It is quite a simple make today, so hopefully I'll be able to chat away to you all whilst we're going as well. So I'm going to turn you over so that you are on my bead mat. So if I lift this up for you, these are the graduated fans that we have today. Now, there is a grade A, which is £3.50. They're 14 centimetres in length, or there is a grade B. Now, very often when we get metal components sent to us, sometimes they're not packaged properly. Sometimes they can have little marks on them. What Kitty and Simon are so good at doing is actually making sure that you are always getting the very best, which means if on just one of your little pendants there is a slight mark or scratch, and you can see here you've got 14 centimetres, and like I said, I managed to get 2 out of mine. If there is even a slight mark on them, they've actually downgraded it to a grade B, and it's only £1.05, okay? Now, I am going to show you how you can actually cover up any mark or any scratches as well. Oh, Nadia says, watching from New Zealand for the first time. Hi, Nadia, good morning. Anne is in Washington, UK, not USA. I now know this, Anne. Oh, Leslie says she's watching from Kendal in the Lake District. Amazing, beautiful, beautiful place. I've been there a few times with my family. Gorgeous place. What is there a bar that comes from Kendal? Is it a sweet? I can't remember. So yes, so you've got gold and silver on here. There is some champagne, I think, as well. And some of them have some little hammered effects on them. So the gold ones that I have been using, they've got a beautiful hammered effect like this. And what I've actually done is alternated. So on the one I'm wearing, let me take it off for you. Is it possible to stamp on these? I would say so. If you are using something like a memento stamp, I believe that would dry on metal. So it would have to be a mixed media ink so that it would dry on metal, but absolutely you could. That would look amazing. So you can see that some of them have a lovely hammered effect. What I've actually done is just alternated the order that I put them on, so that I had one hammered and then a plain and a hammered. So they are facing opposite directions. On my leather necklace that I made, I kept one side all hammered so that I had that lovely texture detail, but you could also wear it back to front as well and then have the real shiny, brighter side visible as well. Okay, so I'm going to use these silver ones today, and I'm also going to show you how we can wire wrap them with seed beads. So it doesn't have to be a complicated make. Now, the wire that they come on is super, super strong. So I would be using my memory wire cutters just keep hold of those, mind those little shards that come off, and taking these off of that wire. I mean, you could probably even just leave it on. I think that would actually still work. And then of course you have a loop on the end as well. I hope this isn't too shiny for you all. I hope it's okay. But let me know and I can move some of the lighting. Let's move that out of the way a little bit. Pauline says, good morning, Sarah. I didn't fancy these from the picture, but they look lovely on you. Oh dear, your packers must recognise me from my regular orders. Amazing. Yeah, it's so hard, and this is why doing the videos is so great. On the website, it's really hard sometimes to capture pictures and show elements just in their best light. So it's actually great that we can do these videos to actually show you them. They're super soft. In the pictures they look quite rigid, but actually you can see the individual components are really beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to use tiger tail wire to just thread these on this morning, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split it. So you actually have 6 of all one size. Can you see here? So I've got 3 and 3 in the smaller ones. So I'm actually going to break this down so I can get 2 necklaces out of it. They aren't an expensive component, but let's try and make the most of it as we can. So in this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5, so I'm going to take 2 out and we'll keep 3. In my longer one here, and I'm just sizing them up to make sure that I've got all of the same size, which I think goes down to this one. Let's have a little look. Then we're up to a larger one, aren't we? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to take away 2 of those. So I'm just going to keep 3s in all of these. And I'm going to do this first so that when it comes to threading them on, it will just be really nice and simple. And by graduating them in this way, you're going to get that beautiful fan effect, which is really what you want to be doing with these, because it's just going to show them in their best light. So let's take away 2 of those ones as well. I've got 3 in the middle, so we'll take away 1 from that one. And then in here, we'll do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to take away 2 of those, 2 of those. One of those has a little mark in it, so you would have got those for £1. What a bargain. Take away 2 of those, and then 3 from my very beginning. I think that is me now prepped and done. Okie dokie, so we're just going to thread it onto... Susan says, good morning, Sarah and Kitty. On your own necklace, did you use the 13 or the 14mm set? Do you know what? I have no idea. Let me have a look for you 1 second. This is the one that I used. So this is a 14cm flat, and it is in the gold. That one, what's the difference between these two? Okay, so that one's flat, that one's textured. So I've used the textured. Can you see that it's got that hammering on there? So this is the one I've used. Graduated fan, textured, gold, 13 centimetres. There you go. That is the one that I am wearing. And there is a grade A and a grade B of those. Okay, so I'm going to use my tiger tail wire. I'm just going to take a length... I'm gonna go quite long, because I also want to double this over. Now they are actually quite heavy. Not heavy enough that, you know, it's going to be uncomfortable to wear, but they are heavy enough that it's going to give you that lovely drop in your necklace. But I'm going to double up my tiger tail wire. Okay, like so, because that way I'm going to make sure that it's super strong and nothing will come undone. So I'm actually going to start in the very middle of our necklace. So I'm going to thread on all of my pendant first of all. So I'm just going to make sure that I thread them on all in the same direction. So can you see the flat ones have a beautiful curve all the way up? So when this is on, you're going to get a gorgeous detail. They'll probably look like the hematite fans that we do, but on the back side you can see that you've got the little curve in there as well. So just make sure, unless you want to alternate them and give it some more detail, that you're threading them all in the same direction. Now, when I'm using multiple strands of tiger tail, I actually separate my 2 ends. So can you see I've got one ever so slightly longer and one shorter. And that means that I can hook in the longer one first and follow through with the shorter length. And that's really handy in in a bit when we start threading on our beads, that's going to be really helpful when we start using our pearls, seed beads, spacer beads, crystals, anything like that. By staggering the lengths at the very end, it's going to make threading on a lot easier. With these, obviously, they have a larger hole. You could even interspace a nice pearl or a crystal in the middle. So if you didn't want to have the entire fan down at the bottom, you could also add some detail into them. I love the idea of stamping onto them. I think that would be beautiful. You could probably even emboss on them as well. And that would give you some gorgeous detail and pattern. So I think they're going to be really personalised when you start using these. Let's go for 2 at once because I know these are the same length. And then just make sure, which I probably should have done, can you actually hear it as well? Sounds fabulous. Just make sure that you're getting that beautiful graduation. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a lovely effect with them. And then I'm going to start using my pearls. Now, on the website today, we have the Amazing Pearl Bundle back in stock. So we've got, let me just remind myself by having a little look. It's 40 strings of glass pearls. They are in 6 and 8 millimeter. So I know that some of you got these a few weeks ago. They're amazing value for money. It's normally £50, down to £34.99. So if you did get these a couple of weeks ago, you will have lots of pearls left that you can now, that you can now start using these for. So we're giving you lots of different makes for your same materials. If you missed out, then obviously we have that on the website today as well. Let me just catch up with a couple of comments. Patricia, good morning, Sarah and Kitty and all fellow beaders. I'm so pleased with myself. It took me 9 attempts to make a rainbow spiral bracelet, but I'm finally got 2 done now. Please can everyone tell me how to upload my makes on the Facebook page? Not a problem. So, do you mean the Facebook group or the Facebook page? Either way, if you go on to, let me see if I can do this. Hold on 1 second. I might be able to bring it up and show you exactly how to do it. Let me just find the Totally Beads page. Okay, here you go. Come to Totally Beads, and obviously it's slightly different for me because I'm admin on this page, so some of these are going to be a little bit different. If you scroll over and you go to groups, you can click on groups and this will bring up these groups. So we've got Totally Handmade by Totally Beads, look, 1,300 people in there, and then it will bring up this little section. You will be able to click on it, or it will say post, and you will be able to have a little look, put that on, add a photo, and then you can upload your makes. And as you can see, oh look, amazing. We have some amazing pictures on here for everybody's makes from really, wow. Who is this? Katie, you have been busy. We have some amazing makes on here, from quick makes to mass makes to intricate designs. So hopefully you will be able to go on there and have a little look and share some of your pictures, which we would love to see. Sue is replying to you as well, so you will be able to follow all these ladies' comments and have a little look-sees. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my pearls from the bundle today. Have a look at this. I probably should have taken it all out. Look at the amount of beads you get in these bundles. Normally £50, down to $34.99, 40 strands in here. And I've been using these for weeks in a lot of my makes. I thought we would go with a little bit of like a midnight blue. You could even incorporate some of your crystals as well. So do you remember we had the rounds with the rings that I was making the other day? So I've got a few of these, and I'm probably going to add in the odd little crystal along the way as well. I'm going to lift you up ever so slightly so that you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing, because I'm going to be using some of the larger beads. So I've got my 6mm pearls and I've got my 8mm pearls. Just take these off of these threads, and we're going to start creating nice little spaces with these. I'll also show you how to use your culottes. Actually, I should have got some in silver. Bear with me 1 sec. I'm going to show you culottes and crimp beads as well. So Kitty has done a few... She's done a few videos using these, but in case you have missed, So I'm going to be using culottes and crimp beads, and then of course we'll pop our clasp on there up at the top as well. I don't very often make things in silver. I'm more of a gold and a rose gold gal, as you all know. So I don't ever really have them to hand. Okay, so again, staggering the end of our wire. That's going to make it so much easier to go in. Now, when I'm using tiger tail wire, Kendal Mint Bulb, that's it. I knew it was something. Lovely. Delicious as well. So with the pearls, normally when I'm using tiger tail, obviously if you're using a needle and thread, you would pick it up from the mat. When I'm using tiger tail, I always hold them in my hand. But as you can see, a lot of the time when you pick them up, the hole isn't accessible. So what I actually do is roll it around in between my index finger and my thumb until that hole is accessible and in the right place. And I'm hoping that will be a good little top tip to be able to use some of these beads. And because I'm staggering the length of my tiger tail wire at the end, it makes it a lot easier. So pick up your pearl. If you can't see the hole, just roll it around until that's accessible. Staggered lengths are going to make it easier to go in. Shall we add in a crystal as well? Do you know what? I'm not going to add in a crystal because I'm going to show you how with some wire and do you know what? I am going to add in a crystal. I'm going to add in a silver crystal because I've got the silver in the main body of my necklace and then the pearls. So actually I want to start integrating the silver from the pendants in there as well. So can you see on my gold one, what I actually did to bring in the necklace pendant into the actual strap, I just added in these tiny little hints of gold, which will just carry that design all the way up. So actually, let's add in a round faceted as well. Now, the other bead bundles that we have, when we were making our memory wire bangles, we had some amazing glass bead bundles. Memory wire bangles, yeah, we had some amazing bundles, and they are also back in stock on the website today as well. So if you are thinking about mass makes and you would like to have just that extra bead stash, then today is the day to get those fabulous bundles. I know some of you got them a few weeks ago. I'm sure you are finding them super useful. There we go, look. So we'll start just integrating these seed beads into our design. I think I'm going to do seed beads. I'm going to do a crystal on every alternate pearl. And then that way, that's going to carry the silver up into our design. So I'm alternating between a 6mm pearl, a crystal, an 8mm pearl, and then a crystal. And can you see how, because I've staggered the length of my tiger tail wire, it's so much easier to go on. And it's quite a nice little therapeutic process then. Whereas I've seen so many people kind of battling with double strands all the time, and this just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, that's looking really nice. So that's going to start to give us a lovely strap for our necklace. So I'm going to take this up to the top. Let's just carry on. We'll have a little chit chat on the way. I'm going to take it all the way to the top so that I can show you how to add on your crimp beads and your culottes just to secure for your clasp, and of course you'll repeat it on the other end. Then what I'm going to do is actually take a soft gauge wire. So I'm going to use a 0.3 wire and some size 15 seed beads, and I'm going to show you how to decorate the front of these if you would like to jazz them up a little bit. Would crackle pearls look okay? Yeah, they'd look beautiful. Mina says she got her bundle last week. Lynn says I got the pearl bundle a few weeks ago. The lovely beads and beautiful colours. Amazing, thank you. Silver crystals between the silver bars. Yeah, Teresa, that would look beautiful. So you can add anything on because it's just a component that you're going to start threading into your necklace. It's going to give you the ability to obviously use your own taste, your own designs. And I think that's what is really lovely with components like these. They're so different that if you don't want it to be difficult, You can just use them as they are and it will give you an amazing statement necklace. So very often, beautiful components don't need tricky techniques. You can be as simple as you like with them. But also with stuff like this, you can personalize it so easily, which I think is great. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to need much more on here because I want this to be sort of a mid-length necklace. So probably about 18 inches or so. They look great as chokers, great as longer length. You could even split these down. Gosh, you could make 10 necklaces out of them if you just wanted a little bit of detail, which would be really nice. Just going to do a tiny little bit more and I'll show you how to attach your threads, your culottes on up at the end. So as you can see with one of my gold ones that I was wearing at the beginning, I just had it threaded onto a 2mm leather cord. It's really nice and simple. Like I said, you don't have to be tricky with the techniques when it's like this. If you've got choker sized memory wire, it would go great on there as well. Look, here's me talking away, Mr. Crystal. Let's go take these off. Right, I'll pop these beads back on and then I'll show you how to do the tiger tail. So because I have started in the very middle, you can actually then just hold this up to your neck, make sure that you have the right length of your strap. Or of course, if you have a necklace, your favorite necklace, which you know is the right length for you and you wish to replicate that, of course, you can just measure that up alongside. And then we will repeat this on the other side. So that I'm the same down at the bottom and the top, I'm going to finish on a smaller pearl. So let's move these out of the way. And then just make sure before you secure anything that your necklace is in the middle of your tiger tail, so you have enough on your left-hand side to finish. So of course I've got this one here. So up at the top, I'm going to use the culottes. Now, the culottes that I'm going to be using are the ones that have the loop in them. So it is a little clamshell with a hole in the very middle of the hinge. We've got a loop up top and bottom, and that's going to make it really easy. These culottes don't come undone. There are also some that you can get on the market and on the website that just have a little strip of wire that you will coil over. They're not as strong, so if you've got something like this, which is obviously going to be a heavier necklace because of these metal components, then go for the ones with the loop in it. You could be so creative with these, Jean says. Yeah, absolutely. You really, really can. And I think that's the bonus of having really unique components like these, is that doesn't matter how many of you get them, all of your necklaces will be slightly different. Okay, again, so staggering those lengths is going to make threading on nice and simple. I'm going to pick up 2 of my crimp beads. So I've gone through the very middle of my clamshell culotte, and then again, staggering makes it easy. So I'm lifting it up with my finger and then threading straight through both of my crimp beads. And they are tiny beads, so you can see that it makes it nice and simple. Taking my flat nose pliers, I'm now just going to take hold of both of those crimp beads and I'm going to crush them. So we're just going to squash those flat, and if I move this up, you'll be able to see it. Just going to squash it flat like this, and then our culotte will come up and cover them. So I want to make sure that I can take my tail away. I've double crimped it because, like I said, the metal components are going to be that little bit heavier. We can then sit that inside and close that over, and then we're ready for our jump ring and our clasp. Can't get my words out today, good grief. Had a late night because I was making these ever so quickly. It was a last minute decision to have me, not Kitty, today. So it was a late night getting a few bits prepped. And we had a family quiz as well with John's family, which was good fun. And I won. Thank you very much. I was quite impressed with myself. Okay, so that is going to be my necklace complete. Now, if you want to jazz this up a little bit and start getting a little bit more handmade with them, because if you're making your own jewellery, the likelihood is you're going to want to give it a little bit of something special. I'm going to take one of them. Now, you could either do this before you make your necklace, or you can make it and then you could do it at this stage. So this is all we need to do to make our necklace. Hopefully that has made using your tiger tail, nice and simple, and we're okay with that. Now I'm going to take one of my 0.3mm wires, and I'm also going to take some size 15 seed beads. And let's get a little bit creative. Okay, so what we could do, and actually going back to the stamping point, lots of you, I'm guessing lots of you are crafters in other areas as well, which means you probably have some supplies, you probably have some stamps and inks and all that kind of stuff as well. If you have alcohol markers, you can actually colour these. Now, you might need to seal it afterwards. So with something, Camille's saying smarty pants. I know, it's not very often that I am clever. So I was pretty impressed with myself. So with something like this, you would probably want to seal it afterwards. Let me just clean this off. But if you've got alcohol markers, you could actually start colouring them as well. So this is the side that obviously wouldn't be on my skin. So I know that it's not going to have any transfer. And once that's dry, look at that colour. Once that's dry, you would be able to add that into your necklace. Now, I'm not sure if that would then come off and you might need to seal it. So let's do that. I'm trying very carefully not to get it on my fingers because I'm obviously still going to show you some techniques in a minute. But if you've got your alcohol colours, you could obviously do that as well. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one down. So that's one way that you can personalise them and jazz it up a little bit. I will let that dry and then we'll have a little look at it. I've coloured things for, you know, crafting. We need to test these out and see if we can get a good sealer so that we can then use it for our jewellery. I'll do some investigating. So I'm just going to take a length of my 0.3 wire. I'm also going to take on some of my size 15 seed beads, and I'm going to wrap around the very top here. So because it's going to be exposed all the way from the top, I'm going to start my wrap right up at the top so that we can actually give this a really nice finish. So I'm going to bring my wire through that loop. And just be careful at this stage that you don't get any kinks in the wire, okay? So I'm bringing it all the way out, keeping that loop quite large because you can see where it's going to kink. So you don't want it to kink, just keep an eye on that and you can wrap around the top. This is just to give it a little bit of colour and detail. Again, where it's going to kink, straighten that up, bring that out. And we'll maybe do one more. LJ says those naughty bead bundles have a terrible habit of falling off the shelf into your basket. Don't they just? Oh dear. They are amazing value for money. And of course, like we said, over the last few weeks, we've come up with so many different makes for some of the same bundles that I really hope you are managing to get the most out of it as well. So it's not like we're just using it for the odd one. You know, it's going to be really useful for so many different makes. Okay, so with this little tail, let's pull him in as well and get him out of the way. And I'm going to use my pliers because I don't have enough of the wire or strength in my fingers to get that out. And then I'm just going to squash that wire down. Okay, and you could see I was just straightening that up as I pull my tension tight just to make sure I get a nice neat finish. Then what I'm going to do is take some of my seed beads. So I'm going to add on 3 of my size 11 seed beads. So this will give you the correct width to embellish the front. And then I'm just going to hold on to that, pushing it up and over the actual bar so that the 3 are going to sit really nice and neatly. And then I'm going to wrap around the side. And then just to continue with those nice little wraps, let's do 3. Always do things in odd numbers. So I've got my 3 beads. Let's do 3 wraps. And then I'm going to pick up, is the screen a little bit murky again? Was that better? I'm not sure if it's my eyes again. Let me know. Hay fever is playing havoc with me at the moment. Oh, I want to take that around once more. So I've got my 3. Then we'll add the seed beads on. So 3 seed beads, adding that into the front, and then we'll wrap again. Oh, naughty little one jumped ship. Holding that on so that the wire will then hold it into place. Now this is going to give you a little bit of a rougher finish, but as you can see, and you could even use your seed beads all the way down it, you could use this to create some really nice little patterns and some little detail. And once this is then incorporated into your necklace, it's going to give you much more of a handmade finish to the actual bars themselves. And you get so many of them. I think they are amazing value for money. I have put the link in the description to the video. Kieran says, Sarah, one way I have coloured the metal is to use a Sharpie and then spray it with an enamel spray. Amazing. So I actually have an enamel spray, I think, as a sealer, because I use it for some of my flower projects. So if you colour it with your alcohol inks and then spray with an enamel spray, that is going to give you your coloured jewellery, which I think is amazing. Thank you, Kieran. Oh, Camille says, yes, that is better. And your hay fever's been bad as well. I hope you are okay. Lucy says the bead bundles are amazing. Fab value. I've got so many bundles now. I could happily bead for the rest of my life. I am with you on that one, Lucy. My cupboards are full. I've just seen somebody else suggested as well. Brenda, hot fix crystals would look amazing on here. I am loving the ideas that you're all coming up with. And I think, like I said, it doesn't matter how many of you make necklaces with these. Over the next coming weeks, they are all going to look slightly different. So do join the Facebook group. I would love to be able to see your makes once you've used these as well. That would be really lovely. Love how creative we're all being this morning. So you see, you can take a very simple product and turn it into some pretty fancy little designs. Okay, I'm going to do one more on here and then we'll just seal off and wrap the end. And then I think, hopefully, that's given you a fair bit of inspiration to use these. Handcrafted, people seem more inclined to look on them with love. Yeah, absolutely. So rather than, just a quick make, by adding that sort of personal detail of you as the designer, because you're making it, like you say, it just has that little bit more appreciation and you can appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into it. Okay, so can you see here what I'm going to do to just finish off at the very end is to wrap, and obviously that's going to give me a lovely bit of colour as well. Now I'm going to go back up as well so that I have, again, that nice colour on the end, but I then know that there are so many coils of wire down at the bottom that that's going to stay on there nice and tightly. I'm then also going to squash that down so that I know it's, again, nice and secure. I'm going to neaten off those coils by just butting my pliers up to the edges, and then you can take this wire, go through the seed beads, because this is going to tie off this tail really nicely and it's not going to give you a sharp edge, and then it's double secured. So through those seed beads, and I'm just going to trim that at the very end. And again, neatening off that side piece, and we'll do the same thing up at the top here. Just going to take this round to the back of the necklace. I'm going to finish that off on the very edge, and that will sit, and that bit will be protected because it's going to have your beads or the other pendants on either side. So a very different look. If I bring in, where has my blue necklace gone? If we bring this one in, you can see how now adding some of these components in is going to give you an amazing finish, and it's going to start to bring in some of that lovely colour as well. So you can keep it simple, you can keep it sparkly, or you can, of course, start to add in some slightly more personalised and handmade finishes to them. Really, really simple, so cost effective. Oh, LJ says that looks amazing. Thank you so much. It's just a little bit of fun with some nice simple components that hopefully will inspire you to make your own necklaces out of them. Oh, I have taken mine off as well. Let me put mine back on. And because they are only £3.50 for your whole thing, and remember I made 2 out of mine, you could perhaps have a nice quick make, something nice and casual for a daytime look, and then you can bespoke it and make it a bit more handmade and a bit fancier for a special occasion. Lovely. Lots of you are saying about painting them and the effects that you can get on them, so that's really lovely. Keep an eye on this thread and then you will be able to know how you can colour them as well. So Kitty is going to be back with you tomorrow. Tomorrow is, what day is tomorrow? Wednesday. And then it will be me Thursday all the way through until Sunday, I think. So hopefully you won't get too sick of me. I will see you on Thursday. Kitty will be with you tomorrow. Can't remember what she's doing, but she'll tell you later, I'm sure. Keep an eye on all the events. That's where we will update everything. Margaret says you can do so much with them. Send by helicopter so I can start today. I'll have a word with Simon and Kitty. I'm not sure we can make that happen, but wouldn't it be good if we could? I love it. Thank you so much. Hope you really enjoy the pendants. I've loved working with them, and I think there's so many things that you can do with them, which is fabulous. Love to you all. Stay safe. I will see you on Thursday. Join Kitty tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and I will see you. Oh, the Art Deco necklace tomorrow. That's it. Kitty's going to show you a beautiful beading technique with some gorgeous little components as well. So another little beady fix for you tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. I'm glad you've loved it. Stay safe, everybody. Love to you all, and I will see you on Thursday.